Hi, I'm Ron Lau from TLC Tugger Foreskin Restoration. This tip is about using our versatile TLCX tugger with our rubber band clip to turn it into a self-contained strapless elastic tensioner. Let me show you how it works. The TLCX is most usually used with the collet providing a gripper that keeps the pushing rod at a fixed displacement. When you're using rubber bands, this is not at all fixed, it's free floating, and I'll show you how. So the first step is to disassemble the device. Now, one thing I want to show you is you don't want to take the collet out by flexing the handle, because that puts a lot of stress on the silicone and in time will wear out the device. You'll be better off pulling the rod completely out to free up the collet. In this case, we need to swap in the longer pushing rod. This one's 4.5 inches. Reassemble the device and notice that I'm not putting the collet in the recess in the handle. I'm going to put it out near the end of the pushing rod. So the rubber band clip goes on after that. It rests against the collet. So the collet is determining the position of the rubber band clip. How far from the handle and tugger body do the rubber bands stretch? And you'll see in a second where we stretch them. So I've got my device. I would roll my skin up onto it, grip the skin with the retaining cone, and next we add the rubber bands. Loop them through the wide area of the tugging handle, that's the easiest, and over the crown of the rubber band clip. I'm going to add 2 instead of 1 because I want symmetrical tension. I want the tension to be even on both sides of the rod so that I don't get any stress that causes the rod to bind inside the tugger body. I want it to be free floating. When you're wearing this, for example, during nocturnal erections, your body, getting erect may push on the device and stretch those rubber bands a little further, but you're less likely to have your skin forced completely out of the gripping zone than if you were using a fixed displacement of the pusher. So there you go. That's the most common way to use rubber bands. Actually, excuse me, I demonstrated that wrong. The most common way would be with the rubber band completely at the end of the tugging handle. To estimate how much force your rubber band setup is exerting against your glans, you could use a kitchen scale like this one. Place this device on the scale, set the scale to 0, and then when you push down on the handle, you can read off on the scale's meter how much force the rubber band stretch is causing at the pusher. So if while you were wearing your device you observed, say, 1 inch of displacement from the base position to here, you could reproduce that same inch on the scale and say, oh look, 1 inch causes 1.5 pounds of force. Well, that's a lot of force. Hopefully you're not using so much. So to fine-tune your tension setup, you can experiment with different numbers of rubber bands, with a different placement of the collet along the rod, and eventually you'll come to a setting that works well and is in accord with our 4-hour rule. See our other video on that. So there you go. I hope you found that helpful. Check out our other videos for more tips and contact us through tlctugger.com if you have any questions at all. Thanks.
Gonna watch me grow.